Welcome back. Welcome back to Motivation Monday. I'm Stephen Cabral. Thank you for joining me for another episode of the Cabral Concept. Today we're going to be reviewing a book called The Slight Edge by Jeff Olson. It's a perfect book to get you motivated on a Monday. One of the things I like most about this book is that it's short, for one thing, and the second is that it comes with an audiobook. I don't listen to a lot of audiobooks. I prefer to listen to podcasts or maybe watch a YouTube video. If I do have my headphones on, I like to read. That's my thing. But for you, you might really enjoy audiobooks. And if you do, this seems to be a really good one. I believe Jeff Olson actually does the audiobook himself. So really what this book is used for a lot of, I think, entrepreneurs or business type people to kind of give them the mindset that they need to get to that next level. But I look at any self-help or any motivational book as for any goal that you have, whatever that goal is, you apply the same principles to that. I think to maybe be successful at your work or whatever it is, you can apply those same exact principles to your life. And it's funny how some people seem to be really successful at one thing, like work or family or whatever it might be, but not successful in other areas of their life. And I think they just haven't given that same priority to those specific areas. One of the things that first I just want to give you one quote. I think it's an amazing quote. It's, "Whatever you can do or dream you can, begin it. Boldness has genius, power, and magic in it." Love that quote. Johann Wolfgang von Goethe, I probably pronounced that incorrectly, but it's a famous quote. It's been around a long time, and basically what it says is that so most people get overwhelmed at whatever their goals are, whatever their dreams are, but just beginning it gives you the action that you need to take that next step. And that's really what this book is all about, the slight edge. And one of the things that Jeff talks about is, for a goal to come true, you first need to write it down and give it a specific deadline. I think that's really important. The reason why I think that's important is everybody has dreams, they'll say, but they don't necessarily make it into a goal. And a goal needs to have a priority. It needs to have a set date of what it's going to be. So for example, let's just say a weight loss client comes to me on my team. And what we do is we say, okay, what's your goal? And they say, my goal is to lose 35 pounds. I say, okay, great. So what we're going to do is we're going to break that down into a timeline. How many pounds do you need to get to your goal? We know it's 35 pounds. Let's say, well, if you're averaging about 1% of your body weight per week and you weigh about 200 pounds, we're going to lose about 2 pounds per week. So if we multiply that out, we can say, okay, that's about 16 weeks or so, 17 weeks. So we can say in 4 months from now, you should hit your goal, right? So let's set a goal of 4 months from now, or 16 weeks, 17 weeks. And then what we'll say is, now, over that 4 months, we need to break down that into smaller goals. So we can say that's about 8 pounds per month and about 2 pounds per week. So that seems much more manageable. Like when you think of losing 35 pounds, it seems astronomical. But when you break it down to just 2 pounds per week, you can do that. So then the second step, after you wrote it down and you set a deadline, is that you need to look at it every day. I find this to be extremely important for whatever your goals are, wellness, weight loss, you name it. And that's because if you don't keep your goals in front of you, life gets in the way. And you're just going to push that aside. I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. Make sure you're up and that you're looking at that goal when you first wake up and you're taking 1 step per day action towards it. So, and the next, he has 4 parts. So the third part of this is you have to understand the price that you're going to have to pay to reach that goal. So let's go back to the weight loss example. If a client comes in, they know they have to be a part of our elimination diet for the first 21 days to reset their system, to kind of create that new equilibrium, to regulate blood sugar levels, to decrease inflammation, and they're not going to be able to eat some of their favorite foods for those first 3 weeks. And that's unpopular in a world where you're supposed to have immediate gratification. But we tell people the truth, and we're not here to sell anything, and especially no hype. You're going to have to change some things, and that's the price that you have to pay. However, if your goal is worth it to you, then that price is totally worth it. So one thing I would say is just make sure you're willing to pay that price, because if you're not, this time in your life might not be the right time to achieve that goal. All right, and the fourth part is you must have a plan to start with. So this is the biggest thing. People can write down their goal, they can use the law of attraction or whatever they might use, great. They can look at it every day and they can say those affirmations. And they can understand the price they're going to pay, but if they still don't have someone to model, if they don't have a plan or a program, it's going to be really difficult to achieve your goal. My thing is this: if you can get a plan customized for you, that's obviously the best. It's customized for your unique needs. But if you can't, at least go by a book, a program, a protocol that's worked for a lot of people who are in your same position. Because if you can do that, then at least you have a starting point. And if you need to tweak it a little bit, you can do that. That's obviously a less expensive option and a really nice way to start as well. But you have to work some type of plan. The other issue is that people jump from plan to plan to plan. You need to give one plan the due that it needs to be able to achieve those goals. And for me, really follow a plan for at least 8 to 12 weeks to give it a fair shot. If you don't give something at least that, I would say at least 6 to 8 weeks minimum, you don't really know if it's gonna work for you or not. You need to let it sink in at that tissue level to make sure you're actually making those changes. So I hope that made sense today. If you do want to get more out of it than I just said today, Jeff Olson, The Slight Edge, great audiobook as well, depending on how you like to absorb that information. I hope this made sense. I hope it helps you out. I look forward to bringing you more videos real soon with the Cabral concept.